an interview with Rosemary Benson about her wildflowers around the ranch in Bondurant, Wyoming. So this is the county road just upstream from her house. And this is the forest that's just been just fried, just torched for miles and miles and miles around her house. But this is where Mom comes to pick her wildflowers, to make her bouquets and dry them out and everything. There's the dog. Hi, dog. So looking around at all these flowers, you can see where she gets them from. So, Mom,
Yes.
what is so extraordinary about this year in flowers?
This year and last year followed a forest fire, and the sun was able to get down and get to the seeds that had been there for a long, long time waiting for sun, plus which the cattle that usually graze up in here in the summer were restricted from being here for 2 summers so that the vegetation could recover. And so what we've got is decent rainfall and no grazing on it by livestock, and the fire that stripped all the needles off of these trees and allowed the sun to get down.
Okay, so tell me about the different kinds
All
of
right,
flowers.
now these blue ones right in here and there are lupin, and there's several varieties
I can see them right behind you as well.
of them. All right, but whoa, you're walking up to another blue one called harebells, H-A-R-E, right over there.
I see them.
Right next to the lupins. Okay, and then scattered in is a little kind of lavender pinkish that's really past its prime, but it's called vetch. And there's a lot of pink and lavender earlier this year. And then if you look back that way and uphill, that pink is fireweed. And then behind me is the red Indian paintbrush. And this, for instance, is a vetch that is just barely past its prime. Other things have come and gone in here already. There may have been some white columbine in here that
You don't know what the yellow ones are?
I don't know the name of them. There's so many different ones that come and go in waves that I can't tell them apart, except there is a yellow kind, like if you look over there, there are varieties of sunflowers. Those yellow ones just down in there.
Yeah, I see those.
Some bigger, some smaller. And you can see the wild hollyhock, the pale pink, all the way around. And you look further off that way, more fireweed. It's just abundant this year. Oh, and by the way, there's right over, I'm pointing to a daisy-looking thing. It's like blue or lavender with a yellow center. It's kind of low down in the lupins.
Yeah.
That's called showy daisy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all over this summer. Okay.
What I think is really remarkable is that in the midst of what we initially thought was so devastating and so destructive, and it was,
Yeah.
you know,
It was in another area where there were some homes that were not easy, I guess, for the fire people to get to.
yeah, but still, I mean, this is miles of forest. This was lush green. This was dense. This was dense forest
Yes.
all over the place for
Yes.
miles.
Yes.
And it's just all
up.
fried. It's all burned. But even with that change, the devastation, I mean, that won't be the same for another 100 years or so.
Probably.
And in all of that devastation and what originally just looked so terribly destructive and a bit negative, all of this comes up
And
from it.
it's almost impossible to walk through. I mean, it's a tangle already.
But it's amazing that something so beautiful
Right.
can come
There's
in
a
the middle of
wild-
all that, or from that
There's a
destruction.
wild rose nestled down in there in the shade of that tree.
I see it. This pink one.
Yeah.
And so you were saying that the wild rose, that's the original rose before they were
Yep. Well, yes, and
modified
I suppose,
or whatever?
I think it was native to North America. There may have been wild roses native to Europe that they, also cultivated. I'm not sure.
Okay, so what do you want to do today?
Well, we're going up to as far as the car can go up the road. We'll come back, and then we have to get Carl ready to go back to Illinois.
Okay, but what do you want to do here?
Right here, I'm going to pick a few Indian paintbrush.
Okay, so today you want to, before we go anywhere, you want to pick some more flowers.
Yes.
Then what do you do with them? How do you dry
I
them?
dry them either by hanging them and letting them just dry slowly in the air, which makes them really shrivel up and get smaller, or I dry them with what they call silica gel, and they still get smaller because they lose moisture by drying that way, but nevertheless they tend to keep their shape while they dry. And in most cases they darken a little when they dry. Either way they dry.
And then what do you do with them?
Make bouquets.
And then what do you do with them?
I have to figure that out this year.
And I can't take any with me, right?
Yeah, maybe, but they really, any kind of jostling and going over kind of wicked.
Bumps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me time to pick some. Just turn it on.
Okay, Mom's got to pick her flowers.